Hello, everybody. Welcome to another segment of K Rob's Boxing. I'm K Rob 216, and we have some things to discuss. Got about let me get 10 minutes of your time. Like I said, I had a geographical change or whatever, so I couldn't cover it when it first broke the news outlets though. Before we get into that though, don't forget to like and subscribe. Please like and subscribe and comment. If it's anything that you want me to discuss, I will be happy to discuss it and give my point of view on it. But we're gonna talk about this. Tank said he's retiring next year. Said he 3 fights left, including the one with Lamont Roach that he's having March 1st, and then he has 2 more fights after that. And then another thing people are talking about, some people saying it's 50-50, him being considered to be in the International Boxing Hall of Fame. Some people say yes, some people say no. He deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. First ballot, it depends on what he does next year, though. Depends on what he does next year if he wants to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. And this is like in no way disrespect to any other boxers, the late boxers that I'm about to mention and stuff like that. But if you got a guy like Arturo Gatti, who I was a fan of, a hardcore fan of, or somebody like Ray Mancini, being Hall of Famers. And if I'm not mistaken, Arturo Gatti was a first ballot Hall of Famer. And we see how many losses he's had. I think he's a two-weight champion. A lot of fights that he won, but there's a lot of fights that he should have won, but he didn't. I don't know how he lost to Angelo Manfredi, and things like that. I know he lost to Carlos Baldemir towards the end of his career. Lost to Alfonso Gomez towards the end of his career. He lost to Mickey Ward. I want to say the man's name is Robinson. I'm not going to say his first name because I don't want to, but I know his last name. He lost to him twice, though. So he had a lot of losses, and he still made it into the Hall of Fame. And that'd be my first, the first thing I say. Maybe I should stop doing that, but I'm saying if those guys are inducted into the Hall of Fame, why can't he? Yeah, he's a box office. He's done 1 million pay-per-view buys. I think he has a 93% knockout ratio, and he's fought some good contenders. His best victory, to me, was a Jose Pedraza. That was his best victory to me. Some people say Ryan Garcia. I wouldn't go as far as saying that because Tank, he took advantage of that fight. He made that man go all the way down to 136. I don't know why in the world Ryan Garcia would squeeze all the way down to 136 when I guarantee when Ryan Garcia comes back next year, he's going to be a welterweight. So I say Jose Pedraza, and that was a damn good victory because Floyd took a risk putting him in there with Jose Pedraza. He's got a couple other good victories. I think he went to the UK, went to Leon Walsh's backyard, his next fight, and he got him out of there in like 3 or 4 rounds. The Gamboa fight I wasn't happy about because we all know Gamboa is past his prime. Leo Santa Cruz, a man that's never been knocked out. That was a good victory, even though he was undersized. And let's just get this straight right here. I'm not sitting here shitting on Gervonta Davis, Tank Davis. I think he's a wonderful fighter. I think he's a great fighter. But I think for him to be retiring right now, I think that he's going to retire, and his best is not yet to come. So yes, I think he's going to retire next year. I think he's going to be into the International Boxing Hall of Fame some point in his life. But I think he's going to pull a Money Mayweather move. He retired. Money Mayweather retired after he fought Ricky Hatton, and he came back 18 months later. And I think that's what he's going to do too. I think it's a calculated move. I think for sure that's what's going to happen. Tank is just too young right now. I understand that he wants to be there for his daughters and stuff like that. You take all that time in the world, get to know your kids and stuff like that. But as hot as you are, brother, it's a lot of money to fucking make. I think you made $40 million with Ryan Garcia. You're not about to walk away from this and you at your prime. You got unfinished business to do, sir. You got the Devin Haney's of the world. You got the Shakur Stevensons. That's the one that we want to see. That would cement your legacy. That would cement your legacy. That will put you, to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Don't get me wrong. You are a Hall of Famer if you retire next year. It was impressive what you did with Ryan Garcia. I just didn't like the fact that you made him go all the way down to 136 and, the hydration clause and stuff like that, man. Just fight the man. Fight him. Fight him. You keep saying that you're not a 140 pounder, you're a 135 pounder, but you went up in weight and you knocked out Mario Barrios. And what is he doing right now? He's the current WBC 147 pound champion. Come on, man. I know you got all the money in the world, bro. I know it's about make this about legacy this time. You got the money. Make this about legacy. You know, I believe you can beat most of those fighters. I'm still up in the air, you know, with the Tank fight, Tank versus Shakur. I still don't know who's gonna win that, but I'm certain you can beat that Devin Haney. Put that on your resume, man. Go up to 140. Take on some of the people at 140, man. Challenge yourself. That's what I want to see. But ultimately, though, I think you are going to retire for a little bit. I think you are going to take about 2 years off, and I think you're going to do a Money Mayweather move. The demand to see you back in the ring. Let's say if you come back 2026, beginning of 2027, you know how many people gonna be tuned in to see you fight. You know how many pay-per-view buys you know how many pay-per-view buys that you're gonna get. How much money you gonna generate? So I honestly think this is just this is just a strategy and stuff like that. But if he does retire, though, yes, he will be a Hall of Famer. It just depends on how, we know how the International Boxing Hall of Fame is. You have to be retired for 3 years, just depending on who's up next and who deserves and who's eligible, who deserves to be a Hall of Famer. Will determine if Gervonta Davis could be a first ballot Hall of Famer. He could be if he retires next year. But if he puts a Devin Haney or Shakur Stevenson or both on his record, though, he's no doubtedly a first ballot Hall of Famer. You know what I'm saying? Some of them I felt like, we know how the Hall of Fame is already. I felt like Miguel Cotto, he should have been a first ballot Hall of Famer, but look who he went up against, though. He went up against Vladimir Klitschko, a man with 20 plus title defenses. He went up against Floyd Mayweather. He's undoubtedly top 5, one of the greatest fighters, best boxers of all time. And then you went up against Andre Ward. That's what Cotto did. And hey man, he was undefeated. He went to the Super Six and came out victorious. And one of those people in the Super Six is a Hall of Famer right now. He beat Chad Dawson after the Super Six. He went up and then he took on the monster Sergey Kovalev, beat him twice. So it's just depend on who's up next. I have to look at the paper. I got the paper and stuff like that to see. But yeah, hey, Gervonta Davis is a Hall of Famer for sure. He is. But to be a first ballot Hall of Famer, man, make this fight with Shakur Stevenson. That's the fight that I want to see the most, man. I think you can get Devin Haney up out of here. Devin Haney is a Hall of Famer. He's got Hall of Famer credentials. He's aligned to be a Hall of Famer. It depends on how he finishes his career. Get him out of here. But I want to see Shakur. That's the fight that we clamoring for. If you feel like you're competent enough to get Shakur Stevenson up out of here, get him up out of there and cement your legacy, brother. And right now, that's all that I have time for today. Next video, I don't know what I'm going to talk about next, but if somebody in the comments, like I said, feel free to leave something in the comments, and then I'll definitely want to discuss. I'm here to discuss. I'm here to build my brand. And like I said, like, subscribe. And you guys, thank you. You have a good day, and I will see you later.